Here I am again, showing you flowers, and now you can really see that black spot moving around. I really got to get a new phone. These are amaranth. Yeah, it's funny. The camera isn't picking up how bright those are. It's sprinkling outside right now. And I just accidentally bent this stem a little bit, and I hope that I didn't ruin it. But like, this whole plant is edible. It's funny because I bought this pack of seeds, and on the seeds it said don't attempt to grow them in the ground because they'll never get big. And what they were for was just to grow some amaranth sprouts. But there was only like a tiny bit of seeds, and I'm like, oh man, you know, this would grow like enough sprouts for maybe just half a sandwich. And so I was kind of bummed out about that. I was like, you know, I'm just gonna plant them outside and see what they do. So I did, and well, you see they're huge. And it's kind of funny, in the summer it was like really hot. They got some kind of fungus on the leaves now. See that fungus on there? But in the summer it was super hot, and I could not keep that pot wet. I mean, it just would not stay. I mean, every day I was having to water it. And so I just finally got sick of it, and I sat it down in this tub of water, and right away the plants just keeled over, and they've been like this ever since. But then they started blooming, and you know, and before the leaves got the fungus on them, I was eating them in my salad, but couldn't eat them now really because they look gross. But the flowers are very pretty. But you know, you can eat the flowers and the seeds. And I don't really understand. I mean, I haven't looked up a whole lot about it yet, but people eat something, like whether it's the dried flowers or it's the seeds, as, you know, cereal, sort of like a granola type of cereal. And it's just an all useful plant, I guess, because I don't know if you can do anything with the stems. I was just wondering that while I was sitting out here, which is why I went in and got my video, or my phone, I mean. You know, I don't know if you can chop them up and cook them like, you know, asparagus or anything. I don't know. I don't know much about it. I tried to grow these a long time ago unsuccessfully in the summer here, and it didn't work, but this time it did. And, you know, it's funny, when the flowers come out, they look like this on the end, kind of like rope or something. But then eventually you can see some seeds forming there, the brown. I wanted to save the seeds, and I asked one of my friends that grows this to make brooms out of, how you know when to harvest the seeds. Like, because, you know, if you look at them, I get it focused here as best as I can. It's just kind of hard to tell the little brown bits there, you know, whether there's a seed inside of there or not, you know. And there's going to be, you know, literally thousands of seeds on this, but are they all just going to drop out on the ground and I'm going to miss them? You know, and it'd be kind of hard to bag these and do it that way. You know, I don't know. I just hope I don't not get any seeds out of it, because you really can't. It's hard to find seeds for this particular color. I don't know what I'm going to do. Do I sound frustrated? I am frustrated. I hated being in the hospital. It was terrible. They had me in this room that was right out over the Galveston yacht basin. And it's kind of funny. I wrote a story for the Galveston Police News years ago about a psychiatrist that vanished in Galveston named Winston Martin. And they had a suspect, and I actually interviewed the suspect for my article, but it was a really grisly story. It was scary stuff. And I was even scared to, you know, I'm not usually normal I'm not usually normal. That's true, but that's not what I meant to say. I'm still delirious. Um, I'm not usually scared to interview like death row inmates or criminals or whatever, but this guy kind of off put me because he's just he's a very intense character, and he lives in Oklahoma now. Has a beautiful wife. Has a beautiful life. I think he's a homeopathic doctor. He was going to medical school in Galveston at UTMB, and Winston Martin, the psychiatrist that, well, he was really a brain doctor that disappeared. He did a study using LSD and asked for volunteers, and the suspect guy was one of the volunteers. Well, it didn't go well with him. You know, he had bad reactions to it, and they started giving him shock treatment, and then they said they were going to give him a lobotomy, and his grandfather was like, no, hell no, you are not, because he was paying to put him through medical school. And apparently the grandfather and him just, well, they killed Winston Martin, shoved him in his trunk, and shoved the whole, I think it was a Lincoln Town car, into the Galveston Yacht Basin. So all week last week I was in the hospital over the Galveston Yacht Basin thinking about that, sick as hell. And they have these historical ships out there in the water, and the weather was just horrible all week, and I had a ventilator in me at one point, and I couldn't talk for a while, and I was miserable. I mean, just completely miserable. And it was either in the daytime, it was like 40 degrees, and it was either raining or foggy over those historical ships, and gray, disgusting, drizzling, raining, giant waves. I'm just like, I hate this. I'm like, being here just makes me want to die. I don't want to be here. It was horrible. I hated that room. It was just a terrible experience. The only thing that made it better was the nurses there were just great. They were really great. They made me feel so much better. I really wish, there was this one nurse named Kendra, I really wish I could tell her how much I appreciated her being there for me, because God, she was just a blessing the whole time I was in there. But yeah, so I don't know much about this plant. And also the mahogany hibiscus that I planted earlier, or I mean that I posted earlier. What is wrong with me? I can't think straight today. I think I'm tired. The mahogany hibiscus that I posted about earlier, that entire plant is also edible too, the leaves and the flowers. And I was thinking about coming out here and cutting a salad, because I have all this delicious rocket here. I have 2 pots of it. There's another pot behind this one, and there's a bunch of radicchio in my garden, and there's a bunch of basil, and I cut a bunch of chili peppers yesterday. So I was thinking about making me a salad, and then it started raining, so I was like, well, maybe I'll just wait. But this rocket is out of this world delicious. This fern is not supposed to be in there. I was going to give that to my neighbor, and I just haven't got around. Oh, my throat just went. I just haven't got around to it. I also got some celery in here. I think celery leaf I can put in my salad. And there's some more green radicchio in here, but I got red radicchio in my garden. And this is dinosaur kale, but something's been in here eating it. I don't know what. But this stuff, if you let it get too big, it gets tough. So to where you have to cook it to eat it. I've noticed, because I got some bigger plants out front of it, and I also have some curly endive in there I can use, and you can also use the butterfly blue pea leaves and flowers I also have out here. Maybe I will make a salad later. I don't know what the heck I'm doing today. besides kind of not feeling good still. But as I mentioned earlier, I have a PayPal link in the description of the channel. If you want to donate, it would help me out tremendously. I haven't had any income for, man, it's been a month. I mean, I got sick, man. I mean, I don't usually go down like that. I went down bad and stopped breathing. Oh boy. It was not a good time, but I am so grateful and so glad to be home. You have no idea. But anyways, y'all have a great day, and like and subscribe, please.